Right, and we return for part two of the podcast. I know this has been very, very much expected. This is the part where I think everyone is going to be very much interested because we're naming a lot more of the teams, talking from top to bottom. We're going to be going through the OCC from 11th, as opposed to 10th that we're used to, 11th all the way up to 1st, and where me and our fourth special guest of the podcast, think we're going to finish. And our fourth special guest is a man I think we're all going to recognise, admin and multiple OCC winner. It's Finley Millard. How are you doing today?
Mate, I'm buzzing. Um,
Get this guy out!
Especially with having the privilege to do the OCC predictions. It is. I don't think I've done OCC before. Oh no, I have. I think. But anyway, it's a pleasure to be here. I think I've cooked personally. Gonna definitely have some interesting conversations, but people want some interesting dilemmas, and I'm gonna give it to them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. As I said earlier, we're going to be going through 11th to 1st. This also means that we're going to be naming and talking about a lot more of the drivers individually than just the divisions. And what's also difficult about this one is that in the divisions, we're talking about who's going to win or come second or third. Now we have to talk about the bottom. So we're going to be a lot more harsh. And who better to have in here than you? I'm sure you're going to have some harsh words in a lot of the teams because some of your rivals potentially from previous seasons are maybe a little bit lower down than we're used to. Should we get started? Oh, first of all, actually, before I get started, right, a little bit of a disclaimer for everybody listening in today. Unfortunately, the podcast was a little bit delayed with holidays getting placed in wrong times. The first podcast, the predictions is in the part one that we uploaded a few days ago. That was recorded before round one. This is being recorded after round one. I have done my very best to block out what I've already seen from Australia.
So have I, yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to try and be as fair as possible based off what we have seen as well. But I've tried to forget it as well. Right. Let's get stuck in. Mill, should have hit me with your P11. What you saying?
Yeah. I'd like to say I'm very much going off of lineups and just aura instead of what we've seen during Australia. P11. The extra slot in the standings. No one wants to be P11. I mean, no one even wants to be 10th still, but P11 is like you don't finish 11th. And it actually, like, it struggles me and hurts me to say this. For the first ever P11 in XRS, I've gone McLaren.
Can we just have a minute silence real quick? Can we just say, because I'm going to add on to it. My P11 was also McLaren. So let's just have a moment of silence I like, and also everyone I like at home, please, stop your comments, get off your phone, turn off your phone. Let's have a moment of silence for the 4-time OCC winner, led by some of the greats: Finley Millard, Avi Tyrrell, Ransdell. And now they're going to finish 11th. Mill, I'd like your opinions on what's gone wrong here and why the most successful team in XRS with 28 trophies is going to come last.
I think, from the structure of McLaren that was last season, it was very much a team solidified by relationships. Fantastic drivers, but they were all united through relationships. And as of course Ransdell left, the relationship stayed, but no one wanted to stay in McLaren. It's the same sort of thing when you left and Harry took over. I mean, the team went in a dark spell for that second half of the season. But it was like that then wasn't real. Like, it wasn't it didn't last long until Ransdell then took over.
Yeah.
Now this is it. This is it. This is this is like McLaren are done. Of course, English has taken over. I think he has potential. My honest opinion is I don't respect him as a TP. I don't. Not for what McLaren needs. There was a lot of teams going during this season, and he applied for the biggest one, the hardest one.
But
And
that's
it
respectable in
wasn't
itself, though.
yeah. Of course, it wasn't my pick to even get it, but he got it nonetheless. And ever since he's got it, it's just, of course, TP's here. They plan lineups very early. He's got TP obviously past sort of the negotiation stage, and he's struggled to get a lineup. And it's just been moaning and whinging, and it's just all the negative stuff come out of that guy's mouth. Besides what his lineup actually is, just the attitude and the as Baldy says, the passion for this season is not there, which let alone is a low blow. But in terms of the lineup itself, I mean, I can't say familiar with any of them. I mean, it's just disappointing to talk about, to be honest. I can't sit here and slate them what they are now because I don't know any of them. It's more just remorse for what the team was. The sacrifices I made, the time I spent, obviously getting McLaren the legacy, kicking them off, getting them to the top, you keeping them there. A Ransdell short spell being a successful one as well. That's all the negatives really, and it's now just this is it. McLaren are done.
I think it's difficult because if you linger on the legacy of McLaren, you've got to remember that they're a completely different team. Like they're as similar as to last season's McLaren as Haas is right now. Like the entire team's left, and it's a completely new management. It's going to be a completely new run team, except the fact that they're carrying that badge. And I think that's a difficult job for English to take, and I respect him for taking it. It was always going to be difficult, I think, especially going into a new game. But I mean, I know he's a quick driver himself. I'm sure he has good intel about the game and stuff he's bringing to his team.
He's a great guy, you know.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen what he's able to do as a driver and the improvements he's made. I think I've also been impressed by him about the people he has brought in. He's sourced from, I assume, UFRT, which is always good. He's got his own contacts from outside the league, which I think is not only a very budget-friendly way of approaching it, but is also just free drivers that other TPs, you won't have to compete with other TPs to get them probably. So that's also good. It's not by definition a bad lineup. If you're looking at it from a standpoint of just another team, I think people are emphasizing it's a bad lineup because they're used to seeing McLaren at the top. I mean, the last time McLaren didn't fight for an OCC, or anywhere near the top, was season 1, and even then that was due to external circumstances. They should have been in the OCC fight. So I respect what he's done. And there's still some solid names in there. I mean, himself, of course, is one. Saban from Division 1 moving to Division 2. That's a great signing to bring him in. Taco was solid in the preseason races, so it's a good call there. But yeah, it's just a difficult job he's taken.
I think they do have a bad lineup because ultimately they are 11th. Like that means their lineup's bad. Like if the team that McLaren are were representing Red Bull would be last.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's very much outside members racing for McLaren, bar probably 2 or 3. But I don't have hope. I think having a solid, consistent lineup's one thing, and having a TP who's got the go in him and has the know-how is also another good thing. And I think English gave up in his last TP role, so
To be fair,
Ultimately, it just screams 11th.
the point I don't want to linger on them too long, but the point you made about TP using McLaren as an example is very true, because obviously we saw Harry take TP and he struggled right after my stint, and then obviously, like you said, Ransdale came in. But it kind of it emphasizes the importance of a good TP, not just from a managerial or sign this person point of view, but you need someone who's got good mentality, obviously has good pulling power, has good negotiation ability, but also someone who's a good leader. I mean, yeah, I'm watching Harry come into that role and struggle so much after the team that won the OCC the season before, and we're seeing it again this season, arguably even worse, because there's no, English isn't like some interim just filling the seat for half a season before someone better comes in. He's the real deal. He's coming in long term, presumably. It's it puts him in a difficult spot, and it puts him in a pressured spot. But I actually have hope that English is going to pull something out, because I think he has good contacts, and that will put his name out there as a better TP if he is able to get better results, and that will hopefully increase the pulling power as well. But we'll have to see. Yeah.
It's about accepting this season is going to be bad, and then just getting through it and seeing where future goes, whether or not he can push through that dark phase. We'll see.
I hope so. I really hope so. But anyway, right, we've lingered on 11th for far too long. Is it going to get any better for 10th? Because I think we're going to linger on it too. Who have you put for 10th, Millie?
Oh, you go. No, I'll let you go first.
I put the other big dog. I put Ferrari.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So we've had a 10-minute monologue on McLaren. It might be even longer for Ferrari. Well, me and Mill both had short stints in Ferrari, despite the long stints we had in McLaren. We've still got a relationship there. They're the second most successful team. And by the way, for those of you who are maybe new to the league or haven't been keeping track, by most successful and second most successful teams in the league, I don't mean like it's close. As in, McLaren have 28 trophies, Ferrari have 26. Third place is Haas with 7. So it's not even like remotely close. These two are the teams of XRS. It's no surprise that I made my OBS like scenes before streams and stuff like that of a McLaren and a Ferrari. It's because they're the two big dogs. And we've literally, I mean, if you put Ferrari 10th.
Well, let's just say I have a lot of words for Ferrari.
Okay,
I was hoping you'd have them slightly higher. But if we want to dig into this now, we fucking can.
Okay, right. I'll go first of all. Last season, Ferrari were plagued with bad. Well, actually, no. We'll start from season 7. Season 7, the fight between Red Bull versus Ferrari was intense for those two seasons, season 6 and season 7. And they threw all their cards on the table for season 7. Fair enough. They wanted that OCC bad. They got it. Well done, Ferrari. Back to back. Only one of two teams have ever gone back to back. The other one, of course, being McLaren. So fair enough. The problem that season 7 left them is they had no money. So, and that's never really an issue for a big team, because you just assume they're going to do well the next season, which is relatively tracking for Ferrari. They never finished lower than 3rd before that, and they finished 7th last season. It was an absolute hooner for Ferrari because of, one, it being a short season, 2, them having some bad luck in terms of their drivers, but I mean, that bad luck is plagued to all teams. Ferrari just weren't able to find their replacements in time, and they finished 7th. And the problem with that is it happened at just the wrong time, that they had no money. So coming into this season, they don't have enough to source a top lineup. Even trying to source a top lineup, they have enough money to source a lineup right now. So they were able to find it with some cheaper signings from drivers who have dropped down divisions. For example, Drac, bringing in new drivers like Hazard or Cargeek. And still, it's a very underwhelming lineup. It's reflective of maybe Raven's mentality, both on this game and maybe just being a TP in general. It's been 2 very difficult seasons. It's been 1 difficult season and looking to be another one after 2 very successfuls back to back, which must hit you hard on mentality-wise. We all know how successful Raven's been as a TP. He's won the most. He's arguably the best. So I believe if anyone's going to find his way out of this and stay in the job, it's going to be him. Obviously, he's been TP since season 1. But goodness gracious me, this is going to be a difficult season for Ferrari. And the worst part is, as well, not even just being able to fill the lineup. Like Ferrari, the Ferrari seat was always the most closeted, elite place to be. like, don't get me wrong, McLaren were competing with them from day one, but to be in Ferrari was known as like you were in the big leagues. That was the team to be in. We've all had a stint there. All the top drivers. I mean, myself, Casper, you, every big name, Ransdale, every big name in XRS has had a stint in Ferrari. Some have gone bad, some have gone good, but that was the seat. And to see them have such a lack of pulling power that Raven hasn't even got a full lineup at round one. And I actually don't understand what has happened in Ferrari, because I don't understand. But you might even be harsher than me. I don't know. Yeah, it's not looking good.
I think, well, the reason I've not agreed with you on them being 10th is purely off the comment you made about Raven being able to get the team out of where they are.
Okay.
Like, it's the difference in Ferrari to McLaren right now is the TP. Raven has the ability and the know-how to like climb his team back up. Like, he's capable of it. But to be honest, the first thing I can say before looking into the lineup is the boots need to be hung up. I think last season you finished 7th. They gave up. Which is an absolute embarrassment to the league. The best team in the league, the best TP in the league, they gave up. You don't do that. Even if you're a low OCC level team, you don't do that. Ferrari to do it, it's an embarrassment. That was it. That was the mark where you move on. You know, he's got a lot going for himself. I respect him massively. That should have been it. He's held on to it. And I thought, you know what? Somewhat fair enough. Do something with it. You have to do something with it. This was the time to let someone new come in, someone great come in, which someone would have for Ferrari, and let them build a new Ferrari. That this was the time, and he's held on to it. So he needed a serious, I mean business transfer window. And for me, they've had the worst transfer window, not only for the league has ever had, but out of any team this season. And for the season they've had last season, to come into this season with an even worse approach is criminal. Is absolutely criminal. For the level of reputation and knowledge Raven has, it's abysmal. I don't know why he's still there. I've said him all the time. It should have been someone else's time. He's kept it, and he's done absolutely nothing in this transfer window.
But Ferrari aren't your 10th place, or are they?
No, they're not. Which I'll explain when I get to it.
Okay.
But I'm letting this out now.
Yeah.
I want to go through absolutely every single one of their drivers. Because it's I don't like Ferrari. I've been here since the start of the league. I've been in heavy rivalries with Ferrari, and I can't say now I'm not. I don't like them. Where they're at now, like, I'm loving it. But it's also a natural stand of view. It's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. I'm trying to find the spreadsheet. Here we go. Div 5. They have a very, very good driver in Drax still. He's a very, very good driver. So they have a good Div 5. Their Div 4 is empty. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, their Div 4 is empty. I mean, I know while filming this who they've signed in one of the seats.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
It's just...
You know what it is?
I don't have words.
What we've had in XRS a lot, and it reminds me actually of when Stein was TP of Williams back in like the early seasons. It's like you got the top teams who are like got the prestigious top drivers in the league, and then you've got the lower teams who are signing new people coming into the league, and then they turn out to be quite good, and they just get sold on to the next top team. You know what I mean? And it's interesting that Ferrari have almost become that. Like they've just seen a driver join the league and just signed them. It's like I don't know. It's a weird way to be seeing Ferrari be doing that and not like Aston Martin.
It's because the way the league works now is every team is planning their seats and their lineups with still 3 rounds left of the current season. Everyone is. I know I do. Like everyone does. Every TP has their lineup set for the next season before we're even in the title rounds. Ferrari doesn't do that. And to no surprise, they've gone offering seats to people whilst the placement races are ongoing. Do you want to join? Do you want to join? When every driver they've wanted has agreed seats elsewhere 4 weeks ago. And this is what I mean. Like they gave up last season, and there's been no motive in them to get going. Like you've given up at round 2 in a 6-race calendar. Start planning your lineup for next season. It's not happened. They've asked drivers to join. I know some of them top level drivers to go to Ferrari. All of them have said no because they've agreed seats elsewhere a month ago. And in result, they've had to go for 5th choice options, 4th choice options, and reserves. Which is why it's annoying to see the state the team is in. And to be honest, very close to putting them 11th. But I respect Raven for the man he is and the TP he is to be able to manage with the scenario he has and to at least work off it. Whether he wants to or not, I don't know. He has to. If he's kept the role, the sole reason has to be he still wants to. He still wants to try. And so far he's not done that.
But all things aside, take us back to your order. So we've both agreed P11 McLaren. I said P10 Ferrari. We should P10.
My P10 is Haas.
Oh, okay. So we'll get to Ferrari in a minute then. Talk to me about Haas.
We can. I'm trying to pick my words here. Because I've said a lot so far. I want to keep this one quick. I like Baldy. I love the guy. I think he's not only a funny guy, he's a great guy. Trying to think of a PG word. He's a terrible TP. When it comes, when I was just praising Raven for his abilities, Baldy is the opposite. He's got the passion, as the team's going around, and they've signed known drivers in the league. But as far as a TP goes, the bit of the role play scenario I can see here is good luck, lads. Well done, lads. Good luck, lads. That's all he's got to offer. He's never been successful as a TP. He's actually never, let alone been even considered as a dark horse as a TP. I think he put Alpine in the mud in XRS or KRL.
Yeah, that was XRS season 1 too. Yeah,
and he was at Haas before, after season 2. And he put them in the mud as well. So as far as the TP ability goes, there's no positive in it. He's got David as his assistant TP, who is a great pull. But again, as far as TP leadership abilities go, yeah. So they have a solid lineup, but it's like Manchester United, phenomenal squad, but they cannot find a manager to actually run the team, which is why they aren't getting anywhere in football. That's what Haas is. They're 10th.
You know, I actually don't hate that. I mean, I've obviously not agreed with you there for my 10th, but I think that's a fair shout.
Yeah.
Can I assume that your P9 is now Ferrari?
No.
So why are we talking about Ferrari? Oh, actually, you know what?
Again,
you know what is,
again, because
you've done it in this order, so I have to edit it on now, don't I? So people keep up with what we're talking about.
I massively, like, again, like I could talk shit for Ferrari for hours, right? Like I could, and I would really like to. But again, my respect for Raven is so high, so high. That's why I've put them where they are, because of him. Because of him. If Raven wasn't there with this lineup they have, I'd put them 12th.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right.
But my respect for the guy is massive, and I don't mean any disrespect to him when I slander his team, which is why I've given them somewhat benefit of the doubt and said put them 8th, because he can pull through in some scenarios, which I think he will slightly. But yeah, he's not my P9.
Okay, hang on. So I had to catch up here because what order are we doing this? So I've said by P11 and 10. You've said 10. No, you said 11, 10. Who's your 9th? Who's your 9th, Mil?
I've got McLaren 11. You've got McLaren 11.
Yeah.
You've got Ferrari 9. I've got Haas.
No, I got Ferrari 10.
Ferrari 10. I've got Haas 10.
Yeah.
My 9th is Aston Martin.
Right. Mine 9th is Aston Martin. Good. Right. Let's talk about Aston Martin now.
Okay.
Aston Martin as a team, I don't blame them. I'll be so real. Like, Panda's come into this role so late. The season was pretty much ready to go.
Yeah.
And he's rocked up with a team that we think can finish 9th. And last season they finished 8th, so it's not even like that much of a downgrade. Honestly, there's not much to say about the team because other than season 6, there's never been anything to say about Aston Martin. What I will say is they've had a fantastic round one. They've had a fantastic round one. They've won 2 races.
Yeah.
But they always have a fantastic round one. As in, I think most seasons they've won 2 of the first rounds. They always start so strong. In fact, actually, my return podcast last season for round 1 is Aston Martin in the OCC fight. They always have a good round 1 and then flop it. They finished 8th last season. They were cooking it round 1 in like season 4, and they finished like 7th. I'm not having it. They've had one good season ever, and that's when you were in there, and they finished 3rd. Other than that, they've always been a back market team. However, so first of all, it's good to see that Panda's following suit and has had a fantastic round 1 to flop the rest of the season. But in terms of him, in terms of his decisions, coming in so late, I think he's made some good signings. He's brought in some good drivers from outside the league. He's managed to pull Kevin in Division 5, who, if he's as quick as he used to be, that's a massive signing. Shoot in Division 3 is very strong based on what we saw in round 1. James did very well in the pre-season races, so grabbing him for Division 2, I knew he was really heavy picking, so to get him into an Aston Martin seat's very, very solid. I think they've got a solid all-round lineup, but I rated that extra much because he's done it at late notice. In fact, I think it's extra embarrassing for the teams that Aston Martin do beat because, as you said, with Raven and with Ferrari, they've approached teams late based off their own choice. Aston Martin had no other option. So to beat teams in that, yeah, I think it's extra impressive. So that's why I've put 9th. A solid 9th. A respectable 9th. But go on, what about you?
It's one of them ones where there's no negatives about why they're so low. It's more sort of sympathy. I mean, the team's obviously not what it was from a long time ago. I know Panda, he's been at Merc he was at Merc for 2 seasons, and then obviously he's took TP. Again, it's I think it's inexperience, but it's a want to gain it. I think I was very positive with the appointment of him getting TP. I think if he got it sooner, they'd be higher for me. For the lineup they've pulled with shots in such short time is incredible. I think in a 6-round season like we've just had, this team would finish higher.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But this is a full season. The teams that are consistent week in, week out are the teams that get success. Aston, by the time round 14 comes, won't won't have anything left.
That is a trend that we see from them
Yeah,
every
don't
single season.
I don't think they have a consistent lineup. I think they have a lineup of let's go, let's have it. First 5 rounds.
It's a quality merchant lineup, isn't it? Like they're good for the first round.
Yeah.
They're good straight away.
Yeah.
But give any remote consistency required.
And it'll be, lads, we aren't fighting for anything. No drivers fighting for anything. Constructors, none of them are on. That's when things slow down. I mean, they finished round 1, P6, I think. But again, I think reserves have been very successful for them. I think a reserve won them a race, and another reserve did very well. If I'm correct, I might not be. So I don't know. I think for the first half of the season, they'll be amongst the pack. By the time the season ends, when they realise they've nothing to race for, they'll be down amongst the pack.
Fair enough. It's harsh, but I think that's where they're destined to be. They're not really a dark horse lineup this season. So we've got 11th, we've agreed McLaren. 10th, I said Ferrari, you said Haas. 9th, we've agreed Aston Martin. 8th, you put Ferrari. Am I guessing? That's what you said earlier.
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
I have alternatively gone for Haas. I think I do agree with your points. I think that the lineup in itself, if you're looking at this lineup from a blank point of view, I think it's pretty solid. I mean, the name obviously that sticks out to me immediately is Ozers as an ATP. I think he's very, very solid. He's a known manager from other leagues. I think him in Division 3 is a bit brave. I think that he needs to find his pace quickly and be setting an example for the team. I think another big steal for them is Vaxi. I know Vaxi's had his inconsistencies in the past, but I think he is, as a driver, still very, very solid. In fact, I predicted him to be P2, I think, in the other video. So he's going to be, I imagine, probably their star driver. I think Brewdog's very quick in this game, but just has that inconsistencies. Carl, of course. I mean, Carl's one of my favourite drivers in the league. He has found some incredible pace in the last few seasons. He was the dead back marker Division 4. Now he's looking very solid point scorer in Division 2. I think that the lineup in itself is very solid. I don't think they're going to be turning heads as an OCC winner or a challenger or probably even a trophy winner at any point, except for maybe Vaxi. However, I think that there is progression in that team potentially. Haas, since Season 3, haven't been very good at any point in XRS. They've never finished above 8th since Season 3. Like I said, I put them 8th. I think that Baldy needs to... I mean, don't get me wrong, the passion thing's great. It's funny. And I think I'm the one that started that. I started talking about how much I loved Baldy being a TP when he was Haas TP the first time. About how he brings the passion into the teams and, he's really excited in general chats and stuff like that. Now he needs to actually put this passion to something and get somewhere with it. There's not much to say. But I think Haas, as a lineup, not a bad window at all. Not a bad window from him. Oh. Do you want to say anything else about Ferrari while we're at your 8th?
I mean, the reason I put them there and not low down is because I think in long seasons, consistency matters. I mean, it's very ironic to say, considering they gave up, as I've jokingly rinsed now. But I think in terms of a long season, again, the Aston and the Haas, they won't be there in the long game. Ferrari, also OCC winners experience that they race from round 1 to the end. Besides last season, so they very much will. They'll be racing. They'll be challenging for wings, and I think they do have, they are capable of winning races here and there.
Yeah,
they do. Although overall their lineup is absolutely poo. They Ferrari pull out wins out of their bums every now and then. Like Power's one, decently quick driver in Div 1. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him on the podium here and there. I think he did get one in Australia. Uh, I mean, Ravens in Div 2. So again, potentials there. So they are race winners. The team is top caliber level. Like they still do have that presence about them. They can win races with a good lineup or a bad lineup. They still can. Whereas the other teams, I don't think can, which is why I've put them above them. And again, because Raven for the TPE is, but I do think they'll finish lower. But I think with the potential that there is, I've put them higher.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, we've agreed with the
all I
bottom
have left to
four.
say.
We've got to the bottom four. It's taken us 40 minutes to get through the bottom four. But I guess there's a lot to say for the teams that have finished lower
Yeah.
down, especially when they're some of the bigger names. Now we're back to being equal again. We've got the same top 7. Who have you put for your 7th place?
Now I don't respect the team a lot, but I respect.
Oh, I already know where this is going.
I respect their ambition and their want to really, really do well. I did want to put them in 6th, but I've had to be realistic looking at the lineup they have. My 7th is Alpine.
Yeah, I felt like that was coming.
I think Blake is the right man for the job, of course. Again, Moon's put them in an absolute awful position. And Blake's done something with it. In terms of actual lineup ability, it's not great. Like their Div 5s, you know, I know random people shopping in Tesco more than their Div 5s. And Blake and Lee Dog in Div 4, I mean, phenomenal as always. My OG duo back at McLaren. Now in the pink in Div 4. Liam's on a wheel, so it's a bit questionable. Also actually has a job now, so again, bit of question marks. But the lineup overall, they have a decent Div 2. And their Div 3 is not great. So in terms of lineup, it's like the lineup screams lower than 7th, but I just think like I really rate how again passionate the team is to actually want to lift Alpine up from the slums. Every single one of them in there really wants to do well for the sake of the team, and that goes a long way. They will care more for this season than Ferrari will, and anyone else I've put below them. It's one of them. It's one of them. You know, like it's like Coventry coming up from the Championship. They'll really want to stay in the Prem. Do they have the squad for a Premier League? Absolutely not. Do they have the tight circle to want to stay up? Yes. Alpine have that. I wanted to put them 6th, but again, lineup ability isn't great. But they care more than the other teams I've put below them, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I've agreed with you. I've put Alpine 7th. I think if you're looking at it from a blank canvas, I think they're finishing 7th after finishing 10th last season, having the worst season any team has ever had in XRS. I think it's very, very solid. Yeah. They are currently in debt. They're the only team in debt. But based on their lineup, I think they should be able to pay it back relatively comfortably with a good prize money. I think Blake's definitely the man for the job. He's got TP experience. He seems very locked in this season. He talked to me on the first podcast about this season feeling different. I think maybe it's the lack of pressure. People were expecting Alpine to finish in the bottom 3. We're talking about them being solid midfield, which is a great accomplishment in itself. I think it's fair to say that. I mean, in terms of a window, considering how it looks from the outside view, they have potentially had the best window in the league because no one expected them to be able to do anything. It looked like they were going to be signing 30 mil drivers across the board and only just get by. I think the Star Division is probably going to be Div 2. I think the Div 4 is very solid with Blake, especially, and Liam when he gets up to speed.
I really hope
I hope they do well. Yeah,
Really hope. Yeah, I hope they do well, but mainly I hope Blake sticks on.
yeah, me too. Me
Uh,
too. Me too.
he has a tendency for not doing long term projects. Like he was McLaren TP for a very short time. Not long after Red Bull TP for a short time. He was Alpine for a short time. And this is the time where you stick at something. If he sticks at this role and this team 100%, the team will rise. The team will rise.
He's got.
Um,
He must have something strong in the transfer windows to be able to pull drivers in like this to a dying team. He's also very known in the league, being an admin, so that gives him that extra boost of pulling power. I think Alpine could
just
go a
about
very
sticking
solid
at it.
way, but yeah, if he sticks with it, I think Alpine could go a long way. So I wish him the best. I hope they do well.
Yeah.
I think
Listen to this, mate.
I think everyone's silently cheering for them. Everyone who knows what their situation
Oh,
was,
yeah.
I think they are. They
Fan
are.
favorite for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I do hope they do well.
So do I.
P6? P6? I wonder if we're going to follow each other going up now. Or we get a streak going. P6. Who have you
do
gone
we
for?
consider do we consider P6 the middle team? You know, not one of the goods, but not one of the bads. Like
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
still
they're
midfield, I'd say.
they're the resting border of good.
You're building up for this to be a big one. I have a feeling where this is going to go.
No. I wanted to clarify before I said this is now the baseline of this is now the one before the good teams come.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you are like your best of the rest is P6.
Yeah. Actually, I'd go so far as to say,
honestly,
honestly, I'd go far as to say P4 is better than the rest because I think there's a clear top three. But I don't know about you.
okay. We're gonna argue.
Oh no.
We're gonna argue.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. P6. I'm really stuck between these two. P6 and P5. And I honestly, I almost want to change my mind before I tell you. You know what I won't.
You can say first.
You know what I won't. P6. I'm going to stick with my guns. I'm going to say Red Bull. They have the most bipolar lineup I've ever seen in my life. They've got potentially the best Division 4 lineup in the league based off round one. I know it's based off round one. We should be looking at it, but they were both 30 mil drivers or cheap drivers. We weren't expecting to do well. So it's hard to tell. So no one would have guessed that they would have been top. But goodness me, what a round one for Red Bull in Division 4. But in the Division 5, it's absolutely pants. And then Division 3, solid. Division 2, solid. Division 1, all over the shop. I mean, there were two top drivers we were expecting, and they finished in the bin. I don't like. It's so difficult to predict a team like this because they are just all over the place. I think I have high hopes for this team, and I really like Ted Ed, and I think he's clearly known outside the league to have that kind of pulling power and just a bit of source drivers from other places, which is good. He's filled the lineups with solid drivers. I've got a couple stinker picks in here. I think the main one being Zinc. I mean, that was not a good call. I don't know if he knew who Zinc was before, if that was a chosen signing, or if that was just filling a seat with someone who already had the role in here. But for those of you who know who Zinc is, it was never going to be a good call. I don't think I've seen that man finish a race before. But then again, on the flip side, there are some very solid signings. Keeping Will CUFC in Red Bull, even though he was one of Key's signings back when Red Bull were fighting for the OCC, and to keep him in the Red Bull loop, I think is a really, really good decision. I think bringing in more leader is a great call because he's incredibly consistent driver. I mean, that Div 4 is just special. The Div 4 is fantastic. What he's cooked up there, and no one expected it because they were both kind of under the radar. So if they're able to maintain what they were doing in round one, they're in a good spot. I have really high hopes for this team, but I think it's just a bit too inconsistent. I just feel like something's going to go wrong. Because over the last weekend they were either first and second or both in the wall. But it's close. It's close with who have put P5. But go on, who have you put in that spot?
I've also put Red Bull.
Okay, we've got a little streak going. Here we go.
I agree with you in the sense of their lineup is very bad, good, bad, good, bad. I think their Div 5 is like, yeah, questionable. Their Div 4 is absolutely phenomenal. If they can stay there for the season, they will win. They will achieve at least a title in that Div. I think Div 3 is in question marks. Will going from Div 5 to Div 3. I rate the want to keep him on. So the Div 3, the middle divs are very good. More leader, rate him highly. Fantastic driver. Same with Getchlam. I'm not too familiar with their Div 1. Don't really rate the Div 1, to be honest. So it's very much Div 2, Div 3, Div 4, solid. The top and the bottom buns of a burger divs, not great.
Not Vibe was good last
So-
season. He finished top 5, did he not?
Who?
Not Vibe, their second seat. I'm gonna have to get reminded there. He
But
raced
he
in Red.
qualified last in round 1 and gave up
Yeah,
left completely.
yeah, he had a Huna in round 1. That's what I mean by the inconsistencies. But last season,
Yeah.
I've got an advert in the app, so you're gonna have to give me 10 seconds. But I'm pretty sure he finished top 5, and that was a really good Division 1 that had like Jaipo, Casper, Hallam.
Yeah.
Just bear with me now. Right, let me have a look.
But
He finished, P5. He was just behind Jaipo, ahead of Axel.
so again, it comes to the question mark: can he do it in a full season?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, they have a good lineup. Again, it screams, as I said, best of the rest. Their Div 4 is title-winning caliber lineup. It's a matter of can Div 3 and Div 2 consistently live up to the expectation. If there's lack of consistency in those two divs, then they won't. The gap in the OCC will be with Red Bull. I think that'll be a bit of a fight with the lower teams we said. But the gap from Red Bull to 5th and onwards will be the massive jump of the good teams and the mediocre teams, which that lineup is just mediocre. It's inconsistent. Not to say it's bad. It's just not good enough for my top 5.
Okay, fair enough. P5. This is where you think the cutoff for good teams is. I haven't got my cutoff yet. These two are very close together, in my opinion. I'm gonna go first. This one, P5. I have put Cadillac. This lineup is ass for what we were expecting. I'll be so real, Key. When Cadillac came in and Key said he was interested, don't forget, boys. I know Key hasn't won an OCC, but he's finished second twice. He's been a very solid TP for Red Bull, right? Back-to-back seconds. He knows how to fight for an OCC. He knows how to win stuff, right? And he rocked up with that Div 3 and that Div 4. Having Casper and Ransdale in this lineup has saved them from losing to Aston Martin. I'll be so real. It's just...
Bro, it's the reason he's in the role.
It's so underwhelming. Like, don't get me wrong. Pulling Casper and Ransdale, two of the most successful, two of the best working together, two of the best engineers, two of the best everything in a team, is going to boost that team on... They're like a drug, right? Inject those two into your team and you'll just instantly do better because they know what they're doing. The rest of it...
Fat man steroids,
yeah, it is... That Div 1 is a steroid. The rest of the lineup is just very underwhelming. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I was looking into it too deeply. I was expecting Key to step into that role, throw his cock on the table, and say we're fucking winning everything, right? And he's rocked up with Gone to the Moon in Div 3.
But then again, it's for his time at Red Bull, for the how close he got to success.
Yeah.
None of the lineups were great, which is ironic because I was in one of them. But like the Red Bull lineups he had didn't scream we are winning. Like we are
Didn't
winning.
they? He had Tetraby,
no.
he had you, he had Koi.
And again, it's the drugs of the team. Like me and Tetraby went there. We were the drugs. And before us, they had Brian Evans was fresh. They'd brought Will in, but again, like his lineups have never screamed, "We are winning," and this one doesn't. I won't talk into it too much, but they are capable. I think. Like I've got their Div 5 down as my constructors winners, just based off consistency, not raw pace. But yeah, Ranzel and Casper, they very much gone forward to help out the homeless shelter. I mean, Bhattacharya is decent. Of course, he left Mercedes for Cadillac. But yeah, Mal's is good as well in Div 3. He's been
Miles is
fantastic
solid.
pace on this new game so far. But it's a star power team. And I think the raw, again, the Div 1s, and again, Key himself will push the team. And that's the sole reason for them being in amongst the top group from being where you've put them.
I think well, maybe I'm judging it too early because it's clearly a planned out lineup. It's not something he's just scrambled last minute. He's got some big names in there. I mean, obviously V had a difficult season last season, but he was incredibly wanted the season before. I just think it's quite risky to have some of these drops. Like Gone to the Moon hasn't raced in since season 3. Same as Charlie Murphy hasn't raced in season 5, 6.
Yeah, I think it's planned, but I don't think it was Plan A.
Do you think?
I'm aware of that some names that they wanted, and of course, if there's names you wanted that you haven't got, then it's not Plan A. Again, I don't want to expose things on a podcast because I respect secrecy. But they've done well for what they've had, but it's not. I don't think it's what he wanted, to be honest. I don't think it is. Not to say the lineup's bad. I still think it's a great lineup in terms of star power. Their Div 4 is an embarrassment, but like they have pulled. They have pulled. They took Viva away from other competitors from me. And Jamo is a silent dark horse. Again, Mal's is great. Like I've already said, but the star power is there, which is why they're high up. I'm just very interested to see how this Cadillac team looks long term. Because if you remove Ransdell and Casper, this team is fighting Ferrari.
Yeah. Right. Well, we're closing in on the hour mark, and we're closing in also into our top 4. This is where it gets quite tight. I have a feeling we've agreed on the same 4th, but you might surprise me.
I've not said my 5th yet.
Oh, you're right. You haven't. You haven't even said the Cadillac. Okay, hit me with your 5th.
My P5 is VCarb.
Whoa! I am here for this all day.
Yeah.
Hit me.
I don't know. I'm disappointed in their lineup. I don't think it's great. They had a phenomenal season last season, and they had to show something for that. I mean, if they finished second, McLaren have obviously disappeared. They were the ones that had the bit of aura about them. And they haven't used it. It's not. It doesn't scream fantastic lineup. And of course, Panda's a great TP, but it's not a lineup that can challenge for an OCC. Personally, I mean, I'm sure they will. But it doesn't scream it. I mean, they've got Yorn in Div 5. Again, why on earth would you sign him when you're wanting to win an OCC? He retires in the pits all the time, makes mistakes. Not someone you sign when you want to win an OCC. Genchi is consistent. Again, not not a title-winning contender, and if you're going for OCC, you want them sort of names. Luna and Nico in Div 4, honestly, might be the worst duo of the season. Salty and Paul Divers, phenomenal lineup in Div 3. Mr. Giggle and Josco again, phenomenal. Consistency might not be there. And Axel Antonio, it's very much illegal. So the lineup isn't great. They are massively holding on to their Div 3s and Div 1s to pull the team out of the slums. It's gone wrong. It's gone wrong. I think he's had massive backlash since he took the job of signing illegal drivers, signing very quick drivers and getting moved up. Point where I think that has actually got to his head, to the point where now he's signing people that are well known, consistent, and just good people, good drivers. I think that's what he's gone for. So it's a very different look. He's now just not signed a team full of quality merchants and illegal drivers. He's gone for a different approach. And I don't think it's worked. I don't think it will work. Will they be consistent from start to finish? Yes. That's their only chance of success. In terms of actual ability, no praise from me. That's why they're 5th.
Fair. Okay. I was kind of like half expecting that. Like I wasn't 100%. I thought they'd be a bit higher. But we'll move on to 4th. I'll let you go first this one. I think we'll probably agree.
Well, my 4th's Cadillac.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to agree then. Yeah, never mind. Okay. I mean, you said quite a lot about Cadillac already, to be honest.
Yeah, I won't waffle. I've said enough about them. Again, I think they are good enough to compete. But again, I think the OCC fight will be off where P4 is, but they will do good, which is why I've put them P4. I like their lineup a lot more than VCAPs.
Fair enough. Okay. My P4. P4, and I'm glad we've both gone for these quite high, because as TP's come relatively new, both to the league and to TP. He's come in, shown that he knows his way around a managerial role, brought in some good names. I've gone for Audi, P4. His debut season, Skradza as TP, finished P6 and crucially above Ferrari. I think that's quite impressive, considering the team hasn't been anywhere notable since season 1, to be honest. They've been quite terrible since then. So to revive that team, make it his own image, and clearly show some of his own skills and experience as a team principal, I think that's quite impressive. If you deep dive onto this lineup, I mean, obviously, like I said, it's slightly affected by round 1, but I mean, straight away off the get-go, and I know he got caught in a crash, but he's clearly strong. Tiller in Division 5, fantastic driver. He's clearly going to score him a lot of points. Yeah. Unfortunately, on the other side of things, Ryu's isn't so strong, and he'll be probably lacking points-wise. Similar story in Division 4. I know I kind of the other side of the story almost, but at the same time, I know Karma didn't have such a great round 1, but he was my signing of the season. I my prediction signing of the season. I think pulling Karma, who was so strong last season in Division 5, winning an OCC, getting him in to Audi, I think that was a great signing. But the problem is he's partnered with someone who I don't think is going to score too many points with Dylan. Division 3 is very solid. I know CB did very well in placement races and got moved up. His mentality seems very weak, that he's someone who's willing to just give up when something goes wrong, but his pace clearly is there. So if he gives it some oomph and gives it some effort, then he'll be fine. And Kev the Slice is consistent. We've seen that for the last few seasons. Good to get him signed on a long-term contract. I think he's going to be good for the team long-term. Division 2, I mean, I didn't watch that one because I was busy doing my own thing at the back. But when they lapped me, I saw that the Master was doing quite well, so that's a great signing. He's been in XRS, it was a long time ago, actually. It was like season 3 or 4 he left. Great to see him come back with a lot of pace. Again, on the flip side, Dylan Evans not so strong in the division. It's kind of like it's the same story we've seen before. And then Division 1, Sab had a fantastic round 1. Obviously, Grants has missed out. I'm excited to see how Grants does because based off of last season, he was very strong in the old game. But I fear it may be a similar story. So it's kind of a tale of two halves, this team. But the right idea is there. They've got some fantastic signings in there. And I said it last season, I think Audi's going to be on the up. I don't think they'll fight for the OCC this season, but I think they'll be best of the rest, and I think they'll be very solid.
I want to save my opinion for in 10 seconds time when we go to third.
Mill, third place. What you saying?
Howdy.
There we go.
Massive respect. Again, I'm a very strict and quite negative person, to be honest, when it comes to these sort of things, as this hour's probably said. Fair play. Fair play to Audi. Fair play to Scratter. I actually really love this team and this project. I really do. It's very rare I can look at a team and say that. I absolutely love the direction Audi are going in.
I think this is the nicest thing you've ever said about a team that's not yours.
And I think they're really onto something. Their div, to be honest, their lower end divs are the anchor. If they had different div 5s and different div 4s, bar probably Karma, I would put them higher up. But they lack that. I think their div 1 personally is great. I think Sab will prove a lot of people wrong this season. I rate Sab highly. He's had a phenomenal round 1. And their div 2 is great as well. I know Dylan Evans personally, and Master Links is very quick on this game. So 2 fantastic lineups at the front. And of course, Kevin Slice is decent on his day. It's just a matter of consistency. Do you know what I mean? I respect him as a TP. I think the lineup's good. But I think the 2 teams I have above him are just far better than the rest of the other teams, to the point where I put them third. And I think they just lack the experience. I think it's very rare, especially now on this grid, for a team to know how to do it. And I think great ability, but I think there'll be a limit to the ability this season, which is expected with a team that's slowly on the rise. It's like they will get close, very close. Well, not very close, but like they'll be within range of saying, "Ooh, to be fair, lads, we could have been in that fight." And that's a little bit of experience for the next season. They go, right, we got close. Now this season we get in it. And then that's when the experience grows over time. And at the minute, they don't have that sheer experience on what an OCC in this league is like. Which is the only bit they're missing. Other than that, phenomenal.
Well, that's very positive. I've known you for however many years, and this is like the most positive you've been about a team that's not yours. So, that's good. Yeah, it's always exciting to see a lower team project come upwards, and I think the Scrat is one that's going to stick around. I don't see him. I don't see this being like a 1 season, 2 season wonder. I see him being around long term, which is very exciting because I like the guy.
Yeah,
he's got a very likable character, and I think that especially since he's involved in comms, he's now a mod. It's just increasing his, I don't know what the word is, just being known in the league. It's going to increase his pulling power, especially with results if Audi do well this season. So, it's an exciting time to be an Audi as far as I'm concerned. I did put them P4. My P3, as much as I dislike them, and I think that they've maybe unintentionally, but they've pulled themselves out to be kind of the villain team. Based on maybe actions from past seasons, but also Just other things, the way they're run and managed. And also I think the name VCarb carries weight itself, being AlphaTauri in the past, but I've put P3 VCarb. I'm kind of impressed and disappointed at the same time. It's kind of an interesting one. I think some of the lineups is very, very solid. I think Div 1 they've done an incredible job. There's arguments there that they're maybe flying a bit close to the sun with the pace cap, but that will be looked into in the following rounds. I think Division 3 is incredibly strong. Maintaining drivers going up the division is always something I admire. And when it's a pairing as well, I think that's also very strong. When they want a constructors and a drivers together, and they bring them up the division as well, I think that's great. I have high hopes for Paul Diver and Salty. I mean, I'd predict him to win the division as well. So I think he's one of the fan favorites too. So that's great. I think a downfall very much so is Division 5 and 4. I think, don't get me wrong, I think Nico's had a fantastic Australia, but I don't think that's, as much as I've enjoyed watching it and commentating on it, I'm not convinced it's a consistent thing. I think that was a one-shot wonder, and I don't see him being a championship fighter, a mentality championship fighter. And the Division 5 is awful. I mean, Genji is consistent, but he's not going to win a race. And unfortunately, with how close last season was, and I know it was a shorter season, but even round 6, I don't expect to be that close this season. But if we're comparing it to what we saw last season, you need to have strong drivers across the board, or at least potential across the board. You know what I mean? In order to be 100% consistently going to be in the title fight, you need points across the board. I think VCarb might be missing that a little bit. It's a little disappointing from a spectator point of view, because obviously they should be the favourites based on McLaren's change in management. But I don't think they've really reflected that. I think the two teams we're going to talk about in a minute have maybe done that a little better, despite finishing behind in the OCC. But that's not to write off VCarb. I have no doubt that Red Panda will weasel his way into an OCC fight and wind up all his haters. So what I will say, and I talked about this back in season 1 a lot, is I do like teams with personality. I think it makes them much more interesting. I think it also pulls their interest for signing people. It's that's personality in teams is built on not just the drivers you sign, but also how the TP acts as well. For example, I'm going to use you as an example as well. A team run by Finley Millard, you'd assume to be very hardworking, very locked in. They're fighting for the best. It's number one. A team run by Haas, you'd expect to be in general chat a lot, in Twitch chat a lot, cheering each other on, very supportive. A family team. You'd expect VCarb back in the day, and maybe so now as well, being the kind of ratty, stingy team, always looking for penalties, but they always do quite well, and they've kind of put themselves up to be the villain team. I see Red Panda fitting that role very well, which I'm quite impressed by, to be honest, because he is a good TP for what it's worth. As much as he threatened me for a penalty on Saturday, I'm very excited what personality Scarata is going to put on his Audi, because I think he's also an upcoming star. So I'm glad that VCarb have that personality, because it makes me feel like they're going to be a long-term project, and with that will come trophies. With that might become an OCC in some time as well. So I'm going to say P3 for now, but I think that that's not a disappointing season. That's another step towards something big. They're just they're assuring themselves as a top team, because in the grand scheme of things, it's only their second season being at the top. So if they're able to do it, so that's what I'm going to say. We've agreed on the top 2, but the question is which order. Do you want me to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Well, I have reasons for the order I've put.
I have reasons.
I obviously I'm the main man and the leader of one of these two, so I feel like it's better if you went first. I think the way we do this is double. You explain why second is second and why first is first.
Okay. I have put Mercedes second. I put Williams first. Now, this is maybe from a negative point of view, because last season I put McLaren second, Mercedes first when I was in McLaren, and it was the other way around. So, if we, do the same thing again, then Mercedes are going to win it. I think I don't know. Actually, honestly, I think these two teams are just so clear of the rest of the grid. And it's not even reflected with their round 1, because both the teams' round 1 wasn't actually that solid in the grand scheme of things. Like, they had individual strong performances. Jaipa did incredibly well for Mercedes. Karen did incredibly well for Williams. It was on and off. Williams has surprised me this season. I think Lasserdon. I backed Lasserdon so hard when he signed up for TP. He was CP back at VCarb a few seasons ago. Won them their first trophy in about a year and a half. In nearly 2 years, he won Georgia at Drivers in Division 5, beating what I'd argue is Prime Key as well, which is an impressive feat. And he dropped TP in VCarb. I was really disappointed because I saw real potential. That was the last time VCarb were actually genuinely good until now. And he's come back in Williams, a team that finished 10th in Season 6. So this time last year, this season, they finished 10th. And in a year, I predicted them winning an OCC. That is, I mean, if they're able to do it, if they will finish second, if they finish even third, I think that's an incredible accomplishment. He won 2 trophies last season. They were both constructors. This season, he's upgraded the lineup. I mean, pulling a Callum Ansell for Division 1 off VCarb, which is a competitor, is just so great. His Division 2 is arguably the strongest, with Hazer and Thallow. Thallow being solid in Division 1 last season. Hazer being incredibly solid in Division 2 last season. Oberwalf, in my opinion, is the best Division 3, bar Pool Diver maybe. I'm pretty sure I predicted him second, I think, if not third. Division 4, I mean, last time we know is strong. Karen Wynn was a risk because he used to be strong, come back as a question mark, and he's come back as an absolute surefire championship challenger. There's a risk that he gets moved up, but even if he doesn't, or even if he does, he's still got to score a good enough points to make it valid. And there's a seat open in Division 3, which I think is a risk as well, but he's gone for it. Division 5 is probably their weakest, and it's still solid. I mean, Side Effects nearly won the race, or at least, he nearly got a podium, except for an unfortunate couple penalties. So if he's able to work on his consistency, Dondolf, again, it's almost similar, actually. They're both almost similar drivers. Sometimes a little on the dangerous side, get themselves caught in incidents, but they've had their great days, their great moments where they've been top drivers and winning stuff. I mean, Dondolf won the preseason race from last. I think Williams is just so strong. If I look on the flip side of things, I think that I'm going to hold Mercedes back. I think that's quite negative of myself, but I back myself. I think that I'm gonna, I'm chasing down top results in the long term. But yeah, this wheel's difficult, man. And I think I'm trying to push myself to places that I'm not realistically gonna be. Like, I went into the race thinking I'm challenging for pole, and I was just nowhere near. So I just need to keep my head on my shoulders. But I'm just praying I don't cost the team too many points in the first few rounds, because I still believe I'm going to be top div 2 by the end of the season. Like, I'm going to be there, but I just need to get a handle on this wheel thing, man. Across the rest of the division, I mean, it's just incredibly close. I mean, Jaipo is one of the best drivers XRS has ever seen, both on a managerial side and also a driver's side. Koi is a proven race winner. Pink's a proven championship fighter and winner. Michael Louis is a proven championship fighter. Walker's won one. Vatti's fought for one. Gordo's fought for one. In fact, this team is almost unbreakable. Even me, I've done some decent things, over my time on a controller. So, maybe I'm looking at it from a very pessimistic point of view, and I'm grounding up to I'm going to cost us the OCC. But in the grand scheme of things, I think it's going to be really close between the two teams. And if I get a handle on this wheel, then I think maybe we'll win. But I'm going to give it to Williams, and maybe that's a biased point of view because I'm just so almost proud of how they've got to where they are. But I'll give it to Williams.
Okay.
Mill, hit me with your thoughts.
So, I would like to say, of course, I don't know how to start this off. I don't want to be biased. As much as I think and believe that Merc can and will win this OCC, it's not fun, is it, for these videos? So for the sake of the discussion that I want to have, I've put my team second and Williams first. However, I do think Merc will win it. again, I just don't want to be. I don't want to be biased. I think Williams have a phenomenal lineup in terms of sheer driver potential. They are the best team. They are clear favourites to win it on paper, which is why I've rightfully so put them first, as probably everyone else has. So Williams are my first, Merc are my second. My issue with Williams, right, is again experience. I think out of everyone in this top 5, of course, I've been around now for a long time. I've competed to the wire before, twice. I've dominated it before. I am the most experienced now within this top 5.
This is when Ferrari surprised us and finished top 5, but yeah.
Yeah, not happening. So in terms of competition, the veterans are Mercedes, myself. If anyone knows how to win, it is this Mercedes team. I'm going to talk in third person. It is Mercedes. Mercedes will know how to do it better than anyone else. Not because of what the team's past success is. It's purely because I know what it takes. And of course, I have some lads who have won things before. Of course, you know what it takes. McLaren Season 4 drivers are in there. They know what it takes. So in terms of raw ability, experience, know-how, it's Mercedes, which is why it's so hard to predict. Because on paper, Williams have the best lineup, but when you really think about it, can Williams hold off a Mercedes? Can they hold off? Can they hold off a system and an ownership that's been doing it for a long time and is experienced in the pressured moments? Williams have never been in that. They've never experienced it. VCARB have last season, but it's a matter of can they handle it. I do think Williams will have a very good start. Like they will be leading this OCC by a few good points. Can they hold it? Can they hold it off? Because Merc will be there every single round. And it's a matter of if Williams can handle the pressure that other teams will put on them. I'm not just saying Merc will be the only ones. Because again, it's anyone's to win. It's how these things go. Williams lack that serious championship contender moments. So again, I'm very like Merc aren't my first. They're not my second. Williams are my first. They're not my second. Like either can win. Again, going lineup to lineup. It's consistency, and it's I view Mercedes as more consistent. Of course, their sheer duo ability in Div 1 is phenomenal. Can Revro get back to the level he was under me? We aren't sure. And of course, CGM and Jaipo. Jaipo is phenomenal. Can CGM find the pace under me? Div 2. Boy is very quick. Very quick. He's missed round 1, of course, but he's very quick on this game or DLC. And again, I think you're in that phase of developing, but you have the experience and the knowledge, which is what Mercedes value going into this. You'll know what it'll take. And in terms of Div 3, I mean, they have one driver. An Oberwolf he's there. every season he's there. He's a constructors winner now. He's always there, but he's always missed out on the drivers title. Pink knows how to win one. He needs to work on finding that pace again. He's in the right team for that. Same for Worldwide, and he was Div 2. That means he's doing something right, and he's very consistent. And their Div 4, I mean, I rate my Div 4 very highly. Is where the ego will come out very highly. Of course, Div 5 very highly as well. So it comes down to knowing what to do in the later stages of the season. Which team out of all, well, I say 11, which team out of these top 5 teams will have more go in them when we've been doing this for 2 months? I think it's 2 months. Whoever does will win this OCC. Personally, I back my boys to do it. We've got very close now twice. For the sake of going off raw lineups on paper, raw ability on paper, Williams should win it. Williams need to win it with that lineup. It goes back to earlier, you know, with English and Raven talking about TP ability and things like that. This won't be a test for the drivers. It'll be a test for Lasserdon. This will be Lasserdon's moment to realise, is he the shit? Or does he just truly belong in the mid-table fights? And I hope he does. I really hope this season he gives himself the aura to say, I'm the shit. Look at me now. I hope they do. But as ego-filled as I can, like I have that status. I have since season 3. That's why it's very 50-50. Do they have a better lineup than Merc? Yes, on paper. Do they have more experience? No. So I can't predict it. I can't predict it. I don't want to. I don't want to be biased. But nonetheless, I hope both teams give each other a phenomenal fight. Whoever wins it. I want to see a band for band OCC fight. I've not had one since season 3. And I hope they live up to the expectation the lineup has. I really do. Because we will.
Yeah, me too. Well, that is our predictions for the OCC coming into season 9 of XRS. Brand new game, which is clearly shaking some stuff up. We're seeing some big names at the back. So maybe smaller names closer to the front. How close will we be is the real question. I will edit on the screen the orders that we've decided now. It's on the screen now. In fact, actually, I'm going to make myself a little note of where it is because I'm going to forget. This is where the order pops up on the screen of what we predicted for each of the positions. How right were we? Let us know your predictions, and we'll see how right you're going to be. And we will commence to round 2 in Japan. Mil, have you got any final words?
It's a fresh DLC. Again, pace is still being found out. Drivers are still being decided on who are the top caliber on this DLC. If there's any season that an OCC could look anyway, it's this one. Like our predictions actually have a higher percentage of being further off than accurate because div moves can happen, and commonly in new games do happen. So lineups change a lot, and pace is either found or pace is lost because the grid's getting quicker. So these predictions will either be spot on or far off. I think anything can happen. Anything can happen. Ferrari could win it.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna end it there.
That's one thing I know. Yeah. Let's end it there.
Right. Well, thank you everyone for listening in to our predictions. Let us know what your predictions are. I'm not sure what date this is going to get released. Probably Wednesday. This is getting recorded on Monday. Probably Wednesday. So yesterday, which is tomorrow for us, Tuesday, will be my rundown of the Australian Grand Prix. Then this will come out after, even though I'm recording it in the future of now. So I'll wonder what I'll say. This is strange. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And we will see you in Japan, round 2.
Bye.